Start by finding a comfortable place to sit. It could be a chair, a couch, the floor. You want a space that's free from distraction and isn't too hot or too cold. Make sure you're sitting upright, but not too tight. Allow your hands to rest wherever they're comfortable. Allow your eyes to relax with a nice, soft focus, where you're not staring at one thing and are just aware of the space around you. As you settle, start with some deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe, allow your shoulders to drop, the muscles of your back to relax. Feel your legs become softer and your feet or legs sink into the floor. And become curious about your body, the sensations of your body, the touch, the connection with the chair, the floor. Relax any areas of tightness or tension. Now, when you're ready, close your eyes. Now, as you do this meditation, you might notice that your mind might start to wander. You might start thinking about other things. If this happens, this is not a problem. It's very natural. Don't place any judgment on these thoughts. Simply allow the stray thought to rise and fall on its own. Pause for a moment and be clear in your mind whether the nature of the distraction is due to thinking or feeling. By feeling, I mean a physical sensation. You realize you're being distracted, you pause, and mentally you note thinking or feeling. There's no need to note every single thought or emotion. It's only in those moments where we realize we've been completely distracted that it's important to mentally note the distraction. You can then imagine the thoughts you may have floating up and away from you in a bubble, and then gently redirect your attention back to the breath. Now begin to tune into your breath. Notice where you feel your breath in your body. It might be in your abdomen or your ribs. It might be in your chest or throat or in your nostrils. Observe the way the body moves as it breathes. If you're finding it hard to connect to your breath, try placing your hand on your stomach and feeling it rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Now I want you to focus on when the breath transitions from inhale to exhale. Notice when one breath ends and the next breath begins, connecting to the beginning of each breath as it appears and disappears. And notice the very start of a fresh, new breath. Now start to bring the attention back to the body now. Relax the breath, allowing it to return to a natural rhythm, light and easy. Observing each inhale and each exhale as it connects you to this very moment and settling deeper into the body. Now slowly start to become more aware of how the body feels, scanning it from head to toe. We'll start with the top of the head, not looking for anything in particular, just noticing sensations, where it feels comfortable, or perhaps where it might feel uncomfortable, where there is a sense of heaviness or tiredness, or a sense of lightness, of energy. Bring your awareness to your face. Soften the eyes. Soften the forehead, cheekbones, and relax the jaw. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let go of any tension you're holding. And extending your focus down your neck, softening the front, sides, and back of the throat. And breathe into the shoulders. And if there's any tension or tightness, if it's possible, allow it to soften. And then notice any sensations in the arms. And extend your awareness down the arms, towards the wrists, hands, and fingers. And see if you can feel an openness in the chest now. Observe the lungs expanding and contracting, filling up with air and then releasing. And drop your focus into your stomach. It's common to hold emotions here, so notice if there's any tightness or discomfort. And if so, see if extending the breath into this area creates a softening. And bring your awareness to the length of your back. Start at the top of your back and work your way down gently to your lower back and hips. Bring your awareness to your pelvis, noticing any points of contact and support with your cushion or chair, floor, or mattress. And turning into the length of the legs, filling the legs up with the breath. Direct your awareness down your thighs, into the knees, the calves, and shins, then the ankles, feet, and toes. Scrunch them up and then release. We're going to focus on a technique called noting. It helps to create a little more space between ourselves and our thoughts. Just starting now to become more aware of the breath, of the rising and falling sensation, not focusing too intently, just focusing where you feel the movement in the body, and just noticing how the breath feels, whether they're long or short, deep or shallow. And as you continue to follow the breath, we're going to maintain that sense of gentle focus on the breath. But each time you realize the mind has wandered off, rather than coming straight back to the breath, just pause for a moment and be clear in your mind. Whether the nature of the distraction is due to thinking or feeling. You realize you're being distracted, you pause, and mentally you note thinking or feeling. And then bring the attention back to the breath and pick up from where you left off before. And remember, you can always count the breaths if you find that easier, or simply continue without. Remember, the important thing is just to notice that moment of distraction, to pause, to note, to let go, and then bring the attention back to the breath again. Not needing to think about the distraction, simply to realize what it was, note it, let go, and come back to the breath again. And now just letting go of any focus on anything and allowing the mind to be free. And remember, there's no need to note every single thought or feeling that passes by. It's only in those moments where we realize we've been completely distracted that it's important to mentally note if that distraction is thinking or feeling. Then just gently bringing the attention back to the breath again. And now, just for a moment, letting go of any focus on anything, letting go of that idea, and just for a moment, let the mind be free and do whatever it wants to do. Now bring your attention back to your body again. The feeling of the body pressing down. Start feeling that your body is alive again. Now become aware of the space around you, noticing the sounds around you, maybe the smells. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Shift your spine. Gently move your head to the right, then to the left, then forwards and backwards. Allow this calmness and this centeredness to remain with you when you move. Take a moment to notice how the body feels, how the mind feels, not looking for any particular goal, not being disappointed if we didn't find what we were looking for. Simply noticing. Now take a deep breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And as you gently open your eyes, just taking a moment to notice how the body feels, how the mind feels, not looking for any particular goal, not being disappointed if we didn't find what we were looking for. Simply noticing. That's a really important part of the exercise. And knowing if there's a sense of calm and clarity in the mind right now. Knowing this is a quality we can carry into the day. As much as possible, as you go through the day, realize when the mind's wandering off. Realize when you've got distracted by those habitual feelings. It doesn't matter what arises in the mind, whether they're difficult, challenging thoughts, exciting, happy thoughts. It really doesn't matter. The dynamic of letting go is the same. As long as we can realize when it's happened, noting it, and bringing the attention back to whatever we were doing.